So how were you? How was the rest of the gigs last night? Actually, I was meant to ask. How was the 9 o'clock?
I think that one was very similar to the 7 o'clock one.
Right.
Yeah. But it was fine. Like, all the audiences here have been lovely. I just think it's like an international audience. When you don't gig a lot in London, then you forget that you come to Edinburgh and say, oh, this is going to be quite similar to, it's going to be very international. And then I'm like, but I think, oh, well, everything in me set's like like the human condition. Everyone will get it. Yeah. But then I start saying like Paul Gascoigne, and I'm like, oh no, I'm going to have to like cycle back and describe what a Paul Gascoigne is. So it works.
Is that a true story, the Paul Gascoigne?
Yeah.
No way.
He was heckling. It was such a weird gig. It was Rahul Kohli's like show. This was so. I had just started comedy. It was the first 15-minute set I'd ever done. It was like 2018 or in 2017, 2018. And then I was about to go on. I'd never done 15 minutes, and Rahul was like, "Oh, Gaza's in the audience," and I was like, "Why?" And he was like, "I don't know."
Good luck, though.
Yeah. And obviously, because it's Gaza, so you do it. Like, I was just telling jokes, but like everyone's like watching you going, "Ha!" They're like checking to see if he's laughing or not, and he was just heckling, heckling a lot. And because like so much of my stuff's like being off the rails when I do like club sets and that, I was like talking about it, and Gaza, and he's just going, she's got me down to a T. And I was like, I think he thinks I'm doing a tribute act of him for him. But I was like, no, this was my life as well. Yeah. And then he just said, it's like we've had the same life, me and you. And I thought, oh my God.
That is
I've lived a wild life if Gaza's thinking that.
If Gaza's like me and you, Hen, we're the same plane.
Yeah.
That's
we're
so
the same,
good.
Me and you. Yeah, helped many assassins in my life with chicken.
What a story to come away with.
I know, yeah, that was a good one. It sounds a bit made up, I think.
Well, no, I think you'd have to be. I don't think anyone would do that because be like, why are you making something that's so blatant up?
Do you think there's some comics? I don't even know, because when you start comedy, you think, right, well, I know I can exaggerate, obviously. I know I can do that, and I know that I can like twist stories to make them fit a joke. But is there any comedians, not to start slagging people off, even though I love doing it?
We'll be doing that shortly.
No, but really, is the comedians that just do full, really intricate lies that sort of like make their life seem a certain way, and they just go with it? And
I think there will be.
Yeah,
I definitely think there will be, which is psychotic.
It does feel. It shouldn't, because it's an act, but it does for some. It does, but I don't know why that is. Maybe because like you're supposed to be telling the truth, and and so if you just saying abrupt like lies that are complete left turns from who you are, but then people can usually see through it, I reckon.
I think so. I think as comics you can see through it, and you kind of go, you'll never guess what happened like last week. As soon as they did that, you're like, it never fucking happened.
Oh well, I have a joke like that.
So I wish I've got it as well.
Yeah, I wish it would stop working, but it keeps working. So I do this really cringy thing where I go, oh, because it worked the first time like that, and I've just never thought to be like, Louise, you probably can drop that bit from it. It's not necessary. But when I'm in the heat of the moment, I'm like, no, do it exactly the same. So I'm like, oh, I've got time to tell you this thing that's just happened, and it's so I want to like kill myself every time I do it. Yeah. I can probably tell that without doing that, but in my head.
But in your head, you're just like, what if it doesn't get the same reaction?
Yeah.
You can't risk it.
Because that time when it did happen that day, it did so well, you're scared to... Like, no one will think it's funny if it happened 2 years ago.
Like, even with some of the stories that'll happen to me, I'll condense it. So it'll be like, if something happened over like 3 days or something like that, I'll maybe take it and make it seem like it all happened in one bit. But it's all like true stuff.
You just have to snip it and...
But if you were to go and then like 2 days later when I was in the car, this happened, people would be like, fucking come on. If you just make it like proper punchy, then I think people are kind of like fine with that.
I need to do that. Do you know the weird thing? I'm all right with the jokes, but it's the segues. I'm a mess. Like, honestly, I really let myself down. I'm like, oh, and... So the pandemic, but that was fine, and so this joke, like I don't just say with the word pandemic, in the segues, because I'm like, that's a segue. Yeah.
I just kind of just pause. I just like pause and then just kind of look down and just kind of go. That's my segue. I just kind of but I just think that looks mental. I've just kind of just talking about a dog, and then I go into like a holiday, and people are like, "That's what the fuck? That's not connected."
Nah, but I don't think it does. I think I'm the chump for trying to put together, trying to link like Paul Gascoigne with like lesbianism. I should just go, and now I'm talking about this.
Yeah.
Instead of going, oh, football, loads of lesbians played that. I'm one, and now like it's just too clunky. Just move. I should just do what you do. Look down, inhale.
Well, I mean, it's not. I've looked back. It looks fucking weird on camera.
Is it?
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
I hate that when you look back on camera and you think, oh fucking hell, Lou, what you doing?
Yeah, and I just if I see the same hand movement, I'm like, oh, shoot myself.
I do that.
It's minging.
Especially on a weekend like this weekend where you do loads of gigs in one night, night after night, and then you just think, oh, I'm one hack motherfucker.
So by the end of this weekend, you'll have done what, 8 gigs?
Yeah.
Yeah. that was a that was a, yeah. That was a I've seen some shit over this weekend.
Stuff in those gigs.
Yeah.
I've seen some American tours.
You don't have to do that in like in Newcastle though, is it? Is there that many gigs in Newcastle you could do?
No, not really.
No. What was it like? Because I've got my experience of Newcastle comedy is the Stand. That's it. But if you've got all these stories about like Gaza and everything like that, what's it like?
No, that happened in the Stand. No, when I started, I think it's changed. Well, well, they've got Felton out now, which is great. So when I started, it was like obviously all the little gigs that are all like, you know, promoters will have their gigs and stuff. But like, the Stand, who were like, it was good having the Stand in like 2017. I started in Newcastle. I did like open mics in 2016 in London, but I lived in London. Then I moved back and it was quite quick, like a Red Raw, and then you get your weekend spots and stuff. So that was fine. But like now they've got Felton Out, which is like a co-op that's ran in the, so it's like ran by Northeast comedians for Northeast comedians. So they'll program loads of gigs around the Northeast, and do it that way to try and be like self-sufficient. It's really cool. And they've created loads more gigs like that. But there's a few things. I live in Liverpool now, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've just moved though a couple of months.
Are you just like, I've kind of done the Northeast. I've kind of like, I can go back there when I need to.
Well, my girlfriend lives in Liverpool.
Right, okay.
She's got so many cats that I
really?
had to go. Yeah. A lesbian with cats. Yeah. It's mad, isn't it?
How many cats has she got?
4. 4, and the neighbour's got 6. And then some of them come in. It's a cat cafe. I live in a cat cafe. we went to a cat cafe a few months ago, and we all sort of sat there like, this is great, but
we've got more cats at home.
It's out the frying pan into the it's so many cats.
That's insane.
And I've had cats like growing up and stuff, and now and then, but like now that I really do work from home in the daytime, it's like, wow, these are just like, it's like having four really naughty teddies.
Yeah,
like,
because cats just fuck you up all the time.
They're so brazen, they're so rude, they're so vindictive. But I love them.
Yeah.
But they just know how to push your buttons.
How much of a cat person were you before?
I love animals.
Right, okay.
And in my life, I think I've just went between dogs and cats, and now I'm back on cats. Sounds like drugs.
Yeah, I'm on the cats.
I'm back on the cats.
20 gram of cats this weekend.
Yeah, so cats now and then. Do want a dog though? Not yet. We'll just do with the cats.
I mean, you can't have a dog and 4 cats. That would be chaos.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, why not? I mean, once you've got 4 cats.
Yeah, we'll get it in there.
Yeah, get it.
Jesus.
Yeah, why not? Have you got any animals?
No, I would want a dog, but I'm just never in the house.
Yeah.
So if I did get a dog, I'd have to just like share it with like family, get dog walkers and things like that. And I probably wouldn't be in. But it's the one thing that like, I never want kids, but I want a dog. Yeah. So like comedy is stopping me from getting a dog.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I'm just like, oh, come on.
But loads of comedians now have dogs, and they just like take them around the gig with them and stuff.
Yeah, which does kind of work. I see Lauren Patterson taking her dog Ralph everywhere.
Yeah, you can take dogs with you.
Yeah.
And so, what about a cat?
My girlfriend's got a cat, and it's psychotic.
Yeah,
it just stalks me.
Yeah.
It just like waits outside the toilet, and as soon as I come out, fucking jumps up, and I'm just like, you fucking bastard. Yeah. The amount of times my girlfriend just catches me, and I'm just like flipping off the cat. I'm just like, fuck you, man.
Yeah. I did one of the.
I'm also allergic to cats.
Really? So how's that work?
I've got to take an antihistamine every time I go to my girlfriend's. Yeah, I've got them in the car. So as I'm going into the house, got my antihistamine, and I've got to go in. Yeah. So I mean, if it wasn't for that, I'd be screwed. I love it how like with like allergies or animals or anything, like when you like, meet your partner, there's just no question. You know that they'll choose the animal over you, so you have to just adjust. You're just like eyes are streaming, but you're like, there's nothing I can do about this right now. This is my life. Yeah. I mean, if you are allergic to 4 cats, it's intense. That'd be wild. No, you can develop allergies overnight, so hopefully that doesn't happen.
You can just develop an allergy,
Can
I
you?
think. I'm sure you can, yeah. That's how allergies
God.
work. I think you can just get them.
I might just say I'm really allergic to the cat. Can we get rid of the cat?
Oh. Yeah. So, but it's so Liverpool now.
Yeah.
But where do you live? Do you live in Edinburgh?
Yeah, I'm just on the outside, like down by the beach in Portobello.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it's all right.
Is it all right?
It turns like feral in the summer. Everyone's just like all the wee shitty wee teenagers just kick the fuck out of each other in the street, and just it gets a bit chaotic.
It's still Scotland after all.
It is.
What but do you know Edinburgh as well? Like, yesterday I was like running late, and I was like, I ran from my car. I was like running from my car and stuff, and I was like, there's just so many. Like, even in March, there's so many tourists that you're battling and dodging like people down the street and everyone, because everyone's just like looking around like.
Yeah, everyone's like castle, and I'm just like, shit, castle, man, get out of my way.
Yeah, you'd be sick of looking at it by now.
Yeah, I don't even look at it. Honestly, I can walk down Princess Street and just not even look up. It's just like, people are like, wow. And
No,
like,
I'm not. I don't live here, but I'm so wistful about the castle.
oh, really?
Yeah.
I think you just live here, you just take it for granted, and you're just like, it's just an inconvenience to your life.
Yeah, but then if you lived in Milton Keynes, you'd be like, fucking hell, that is a lovely castle, wouldn't you?
I haven't thought of it like that. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd take.
I should go for a year in Milton Keynes, do a sabbatical in Milton Keynes for a year.
And you come back here and you'd be like, oh my god, I'm going to buy something from This'll Do Nicely. You like really embrace it again. I think.
Yeah. No, it is pretty good, but I mean, I've always fancied, like, I could live in like Newcastle, Liverpool, Manchester. I could do any of them.
Any cities?
Yeah, I couldn't do the country.
I want to live in the country.
Yeah.
Do you? I thought you were going to say do you, so I said do you. That's how in tune I'm getting with you. I said what I thought you were going to say.
Yeah, dear.
Oh my god, we must be so in sync. What star sign are you?
Gemini.
My girlfriend's a Gemini.
Yeah.
Must be compatible, yeah.
I'm the worst Gemini.
Well, that's Geminis are in two camps, aren't they? I'm being so lesbian-y.
No, keep it going. Keep it going, Louise.
Yeah, Geminis are either the best people or the cunts of the world.
Yeah, I mean, I've been told I'm a
cunt.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it means. I'm a double Gemini, which apparently is like the worst of the worst star signs.
Oh my god.
Yeah, someone literally like, I can't remember who it was. Someone told me. I think it was in the Fringe last year. Someone told me it.
Yeah.
And they were like, yes. They looked at me like I was Hitler. Yeah, apparently it's like by far. People say Scorpios and Geminis are the worst. What are you?
Sagittarius.
But I don't know anything about it really.
But you
know the thing is I don't believe it whatsoever. But then I used to work with a girl, and she was heavy into star signs and everything like that, and she told me stuff about me that I hadn't even really admitted to myself. She got me to a T.
Well, that's good.
Just by knowing my star sign and just like the day I was born and everything like that. And she told me, and I was just like, shit. I was like, that's hard to be skeptical about when you just nailed me completely and very specifically.
Yeah. I'm like, so you're not obviously, but I'm still quite enamoured by Edinburgh. When I was walking down there, there's an extreme paranormal tour at 9:15 tonight.
You doing it?
I'll be gigging.
Oh, we've got the gig.
Yeah. But tomorrow, I'm still here tomorrow. And so I want big things from extreme paranormal.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think you're going to be let down.
Am I?
It's going to be like a theatre student who's going to take you in a room and just go like, yeah, someone died over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get it.
But
Sorry to let you down.
No, but there was the tour, then there was Fright Night, then there was Extreme Fright Night, then there was Extreme Paranormal.
Right, okay.
But they can't, I mean, they're promising ghosts, they can't, because you just can't, like, you either have a ghost or you don't.
So there's something I was going to bring up. You've got our podcast.
Yes.
Make Me Feel Better.
Make Me Better.
Make Me Better.
Make Me Better at Make Me Better Pod.
Make Me Better Pod. Listen, I listened to the first episode this morning.
What did you think?
Really good.
You got to say that.
No, you said something in it that I'm well into.
Right.
Alien hunting. Oh. Yeah.
Yes.
Love alien, space, anything like that. Anything that's like thinking about the galaxies.
Yeah.
I sound like a stoner, but love it.
No, yeah, I do love it. Yeah, so
Sorry, I just completely blindsided you with that there.
I was doing it when alien hunting also sounds like we're going to sort of
like you're running around the fields with a gun.
But it's more just like trying to find them. Obviously, I don't know how you go looking for them.
I mean, I haven't. I'm fascinated by them.
Have you watched? See, this is going to make me sound like some.
I cannot wait for this.
Conspiracy thing. But no, have you ever watched Unacknowledged?
No.
Oh, you're going to love it.
Yeah?
You're going to bloody love it. it's wicked, right? Whether you believe in aliens or not, they're talking about like obviously UFOs are like an accepted thing now.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is, like even like the government and stuff goes,
Yeah.
you can't really deny it.
They
There's
brought that out during
mad
COVID,
shit.
slipped that one in.
Yeah, and everyone didn't really pay attention to
Yeah,
that. Did
everyone's
they?
just like, we're trying to stay alive here.
I said, but no, they've just said UFOs are real, and everyone's that down and depressed. They're just like,
Yeah, whatever.
right, yeah. But this is all about like meditation and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I went up a hill with Harriet Dyer's partner.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this makes a lot of sense that it's like Harriet Dyer's partner because it was quite a crazy thing to do. But we went up this hill and we kind of tried to contact aliens using meditation. Didn't get anywhere.
Yeah, I was going to say, how did it go? What are they saying?
But there's still time. However, I'm not even fucking kidding. Because don't get us wrong, like I'm dead into everything and I like sort of being dead open-minded. But there is a part of us that goes, is this work and this is insane. But then I did see a lot of stuff in the sky. When I was with people as well, and I'd be like, what's that? And they'd be like, I've got no idea what that is. But that was like a good few months after I did that mental 3:00 in the morning meditation up a hill.
Right.
So
you're so it's still, it might not have been dead on that day you were getting contacted.
Sent a signal up going, yeah, like if you want to
come down,
get in contact,
come party with me in Gaza.
Yeah. But
Shit.
so what are you interested in alien wise? Just like videos of them and stuff.
I want to know, like.
I want to know.
I want to know, Louise.
Yeah.
I want to know before I die. I need to know. Like, that's the one thing. Like, I need to know if they exist, if they're coming, what's going to happen before I die.
Well, if you watch Unacknowledged and then watch the second documentary, which is called Close Encounters of a Fifth Kind.
Fifth kind?
Oh, yeah.
Didn't know there was that many kinds.
I can't remember what it means. I think it's... no, fifth kind means you've asked for them to come and see you.
You put that out
You
there.
put that out there and they've come
They
down.
come back.
So
Nice.
if you watch it, they do like all these mass meditations and stuff, and then aliens come down. And just what the point is that Demi Lovato.
Demi Lovato's involved now.
No, because I watched the documentary. I got so into the documentary, and someone went, "Oh my god, Demi Lovato's on Twitter saying that." What was it like? It's offensive to call aliens extraterrestrial. No, it's offensive to say extraterrestrial. Fucking hell, alien, you should be saying extraterrestrial. And then the person was like scoffing and I was like, I completely agree with that. Like
I believe Demi Lovato.
I am with Demi Lovato on that one.
I stand with that, yeah.
I think it's a fucking disgrace that we're saying alien. But yeah, so the it's all about like the point that the guy's making, which is actually very compelling on the thing is that like everything. I'm gonna sound like such a stoner, and I don't even.
Yeah, you can't talk about these things without sounding like a stoner.
I know you kind of can. You sound mental, but so he's saying like they're benevolent, but because we're like a nasty little vicious little species, we just shoot them down as soon as they come into that.
That probably will happen.
That's believable. So he's all about saying like trying to actually like reach out and be like, oh, like come and see if you want, instead of being like shooting them out the air straight away, because it's like, but it wouldn't surprise us humans.
That'll happen. They'll arrive and someone will kill them. Where was this hill, by the way? Where was the meditation hill?
Glossop, which is like in the northwest Derbyshire Dales.
Oh, exotic.
Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't they not want to come to just outside of Manchester to Derbyshire?
Have you ever been to a dark sky park?
No, but I'd love to. Kiel does one, isn't it?
Oh, I went to one last month.
Yeah.
It was one, it's in like Dumfries and Galloway.
Oh.
Southwest Scotland, and there's like no light pollution anywhere.
Amazing.
It's insane.
I'm going to do that this year.
Yeah, it's on it. There's like I'll send you a link. There's this hut that's in the middle of this field. It's kind of shepherd's hut, and they've made it in like a way Airbnb thing.
Nice.
And you basically stay in in a big sheep field. Honestly, it's a cool wee place, and it's just you're just surrounded by nothing for miles. So I highly recommend that. We went there on a wee weekend away, and it was good first night. Second night, not so good.
Yeah.
There was no clouds, and my girlfriend had made the insane decision because we were out in this kind of field bit. She was like kind of like running around, kind of like feeling a bit childish, reliving her youth. She's like, I'm going to roll down this hill.
Yeah.
So she rolled down the hill.
Oh, no, what's going to happen?
She was laying there in a heap at the bottom, and I was like, you all right? She got up. And within about 20 minutes, she burped. I had never heard her burp. She started burping. She didn't stop burping for the next 7 hours. I don't
understand what's happened there.
We don't understand what happened either. She just like got up and she was like, bleh. And then she went, "Bleh." And she's like, I can't stop. No joke. 7 hours later, we've had to like drive into the nearest town to go and get all these Rennies and stuff like that to try and get her to stop burping. It was, it was fucking mental. Meanwhile,
What has she done there?
no
Acid.
idea.
She's caused a lot of acid. She's created a sort of central fusion.
It was, and I was like, after like 5 minutes, I was like, this is hilarious. This is never gonna get old. And then after about like 3 hours, I was like,
Stop fucking burping.
yeah, I was like, this is,
Yeah.
and then you just kind of going like up and down and up, and I was just like, right,
Yeah.
this needs to end. So having to like abandon this thing, driving to the town to get to like the local Tesco. Like,
I'm so intrigued by that. Have you Googled it?
we googled it, couldn't find out anything. But I think, like you're saying, it's just some kind of like acid.
Acid
It was-
situation that happened, yeah.
And so that was the
Yep,
big, that was
inconclusive.
our big like space watching thing. First night, amazing. Second night, a lot of burping.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
But I'd highly recommend going to the
Oh, I'd
Stark
love
Sky
that.
Park. It's so cool.
Do you have a stethoscope? A telescope?
We needed a stethoscope for that. You're gonna die.
Yeah, did you have a telescope?
Didn't have that. I wish you'd gone more prepared.
Oh, that's brilliant.
But if you had that, you could just go
Binoculars.
out and just kind of like look up. But I mean, it's mad to think when there's no light pollution, just how many stars are up there.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
sound like the biggest melters ever on this episode.
Oh, I don't care.
Love it.
Yeah.
All in for it.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I love the stars.
Yeah.
And I'll die on that hill. And they did die on that hill. It's going for them aliens.
I think that in the last few weeks, people have just been coming in and been like, "Oh, there was this gig I did there,"
Yeah.
and it's just, and I think some people have kind of just, I think because we as comedians can laugh about the bad ones, and I think other people go like, "Oh, that must have been traumatic for you," and we're just kind of like,
That's what I'm learning, like as I go through this, I'll get nervous before certain gigs and I just think to myself, Louise, there's never been a gig that's been that bad that you've never laughed about. I think even if someone stabbed you on stage and you would eventually go, oh my God, I got stabbed once on stage.
Yeah.
Like, you just like
4 weeks later, that's material.
yeah, you're just going to laugh about it. I don't touch wood.
You've never been stabbed on stage.
Never
yeah?
been stabbed on stage. There's been a few gigs where people go, don't go out just yet.
Oh, really?
Not that I'm such a non-confrontational comedian.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just can't be bothered with the headache of a drunk person trying to attack us. Lots of gigs are quite nice.
Most of them are.
Most of them are quite nice, and most people are quite nice. I think like when you have the really bad gigs where it does turn and you do end up like in a horrible, icky like argument with someone, but that's when you first start and you don't know.
You don't know how to handle
You
that.
don't know any better as well. Like now, like I'm off here in 5 minutes. I'm just
don't
gonna
give a
say joke. I don't
shit.
give a fuck. I'm just gonna talk for 5 minutes and I'm pissing off home.
Yeah.
But back in the day, you were like, oh my God, like this. If one gig goes bad, everything could be destroyed. So I'm gonna have to like address everything at all times. And like some gigs were just not meant because you didn't have the sense. Like, I remember doing gigs in London, the open mic gigs that it was. It's them gigs that are just in a pub.
Yeah.
So everyone's like eating in a pub, and then some like bright spark thinks, I'll just put a gig on in the corner. The pub agree, thinking it's just
Yeah.
going to be the same thing as like someone doing an acoustic set in the corner. It's like, no, it's
Yeah. Crowd
no.
work gets pretty intrusive when you're trying to eat a meal.
yeah. And but I remember doing them thinking they were a shit audience, and it's like now I'm like, no, Louise, they were just in a pub,
They were just trying to enjoy the night out.
and everyone was doing like shit, like sort of like open mic jokes
Yeah,
and just seeing too much trauma, and then just trying to have
Yeah.
like a Sunday roast. That's not the same as someone playing like, I don't know, like some kind of like nice acoustic song, and you don't just
Yeah.
you don't have like easy listening trauma.
Yeah, I've never done that. Didn't do the London open mic scene. Is it just that? Just like most gigs, it's just like
Yeah.
playing to just like people that don't really want to be there. And
It probably isn't. It probably is a weird place to start because it's very like that like open mic scene. I just found it very. It was quite lonely because it's not as if like when I moved to Newcastle, it was a real like group of comics that like you could go
Yeah.
and see every week. But I think in London, I was just seeing different people every single time, and then it is all that thing of like you're just playing to other comedians, and
that's
then
the worst.
you learn the wrong skill then because you can see them, they're just playing to their mates. So
Yeah.
they're doing in jokes and they're doing this and they're being sort of very idiosyncratic to themselves in a way
Yeah.
that their friends will find funny, but you're like, that's never going to translate when no one knows who the fuck you are.
Yeah,
So I think you learn odd skills. I was a mess then anyway, so I was just
you were a mess.
off my tits all the time. So I don't think I was making the right impression. It was good to do that there, make a terrible impression, and then try properly in Newcastle a
Yeah,
couple
and just
of years
leave
later.
the city.
There must be people who are thinking like, what became of her? Then like, see, is like managing to do gigs. Like, oh God, she really turned it around. She fell down the stairs that time after that set. Yeah.
So we just going out all the time in London?
Getting trashed, yeah. But I mean, London's that thing, isn't it? Where it's just a depressing. It's just hard to be there with no money because you're just not really living in London, are you? You're just paying some rent in a flat, and then, and I thought like moving back to Newcastle, I'd be like, oh, it won't be the same amount of, because I suppose if you're on it, it is good to be in London because you can just do fucking open mics every single night and get really like honed with what you want to do if you've got the right mindset.
Yeah.
So I thought it was going to be rubbish, but I sometimes think like the quality of gig was maybe better than the quantity.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I don't know. I think you just probably find your way either wherever you are, don't you?
Yeah, I do think those gigs where it's just comedians, it gives those people that are just playing to their mates, they walk away being like, I'm fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And they go to an actual audience and it just eats shit.
yeah.
It gives everyone a false sense of like who they are.
But everything does, doesn't it? Like, and then you do all the gigs in your particular city, then you go and do them gigs in Coventry, and you're like, oh, right, I'm shit here. It's just a massive, horrible learning curve. Everything's horrible about this, and I wish to quit. No, I don't.
See you at the 9 o'clock show tonight, yeah?
Are you doing the 9 o'clock?
I'm on the 9 o'clock show tonight,
lovely.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll be nice then.
I mean, that's going to be the one we're all just wanting to just get it over and done with.
Yeah. I feel like that's a tired audience at 9 o'clock on a Sunday as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But weirdly, like the Sundays have actually been really good. I've done Sundays in the last few months, and they've annoyingly been good. And you're hearing them, like, it's like the opener, the MCs on, and you're like, shit.
I'm gonna have to.
Let's fucking try.
Yeah.
It's very annoying.
I can't stop saying it. I have to be a bit more like. But
no, there's no positivity on this podcast, Louise.
Oh, good.
We're not having any of that.
Yeah, good.
You want to quit? Everything's horrible. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the vibe of this podcast.
Yeah, I want to quit.
Yeah. You just been doing some like pretty cool like touring work, though, haven't you?
Yeah.
I actually saw you. Me and my girlfriend came to see Kevin Bridges in the Edinburgh Stand.
Oh yeah, the Kevin Bridges and Friends.
Yes.
Yeah, that was cool.
So you got a wee tour with him?
No, I wasn't touring with him. I was doing the and Friends one.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Been doing Mint Tour supports for Alan Carr, Tom Allen. Had a couple for Tom Davis, some warm ups for him. Been cool. Spoilt with tour supports, and they're lush as well. But
they all seem pretty sound people.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. And I don't get that fear with tour supports where it's like, is everyone just gonna hate you? Because like they're like, I'm not fucking here to see this person.
Yeah.
But it's just like what we're saying. Everyone's generally quite nice.
Yeah. So you did Alan Carr's one.
Oh, that was wicked. Yeah. And that was terrifying because it was going from like clubs is a couple of hundred to a couple of thousand. And it was just at first I was like, I can't. And the 99% have gone great, but I tell you what, on those ones that hasn't gone your way, that's a loud silence. Yeah. But it's like 2,000. Well, if it's like, you know, being a bit more difficult, and you think, surely some of you got to fucking laugh. There's so many of you that way. But yeah.
It's weird that they just get into that group think of like, none of us are laughing.
Yeah, but it is, isn't it? It's a group mentality. I think that's definitely a thing. It's just if the laughter doesn't catch on very quickly, people just go, she's not worth laughing at.
Yeah.
But it's even worse when people are sat there like, you like vocalise that.
Yeah,
like,
let's hear you.
I need to hear you. Don't just smile at us.
So what was that? What was the one that happened at?
I think Cambridge is quite. I have a tricky time around Cambridge.
Right, that's quite posh.
It's quite posh, yeah. But I think that's a common comedy difficult spot where people seem to have a little tricky time. Because I was like, fuck, that's twice I've done bad. Not bad, but just not being that not
as your normal standard. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just, and so like, yeah, I feel like Cambridge is a place. Sometimes if it's very posh. Yeah. I get on all right because I think they sort of see it as a weird cartoon character of a woman. Do you know what I mean? Like I sort of ham it up that I'm like, oh yeah, I'll read pets like that because I think then they're like, oh, she's just a daft Geordie. But if it's like that middle class, upper class, we think we're brilliant.
Yeah.
Then I think it's harder as a working class comic to. Yeah. But it's all fine.
But Alan Carr must bring. I can imagine he gets quite a nice audience.
Brilliant audience, yeah, unreal because it's all like they're just a nice like. Fun-loving, lots of gays, good mix. It's a good audience, yeah. It's cool when you do tour supports and stuff because you like get a bit of like, you sort of see what you can like aim for. You can sort of see of like, all right, if you keep going, you can garner your own audience.
Yeah.
And like, it makes you feel a bit more like, all right, I can sort of see, I didn't get that before.
Really?
Because I was still in like club mentality where I was just like, try and be able to play to any audience in the world at any time whatsoever. Then you start to think, nah, that's not what the best thing is at all. You need to find the people who find you funny or find you interesting and start like, and lean into that, because they're going to enjoy that more than if you just sort of like dilute yourself and that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, everyone's doing that now. That's the thing. I think that's the beauty of it all.
Yeah, but I didn't realize that until I started doing tour supports, that that's what you need to do. I just thought like, oh, you just try and be the best in every single crowd and try and like be able to play to as many people as possible, being the best you can be. But just no one can fucking do that, and it just dilutes what you can do well.
Yeah.
So it's been good to like learn that and stuff.
Because I mean, you don't really want to. The majority of people are arseholes. Like, not in comedy clubs, just around the place. You don't want to. Who cares what they think?
Well, exactly, and then obviously you don't want to pander to cunts.
Exactly.
Do you know? Like, I'm not going to sit around pandering to cunts. End of podcast.
Yeah, I was going to say, if there's one thing we're taking away, don't pander to cunts, everyone.
You said 99% of them went well in the big rooms. What happened in the 1% where they didn't go amazingly? Was it any specific reason, or were you just like, no, this is not on board?
Once, like, it was in High Wycombe, it did kick off in the audience while I was on stage.
Kicked off?
Yeah, but that's not when it goes bad, really, because that's...
Is it just Saturday night crowds?
No, it was a particular like difficult couple, and then they had a massive domestic, and then started screaming at me.
No way!
Like, and I was like, "What the fuck is happening?" And then like it was going on for so long, and you've like fielded it 3 times, 4 times, and you're like, "I can't keep saying like, are security gonna get these?
Yeah.
Or we're gonna like clamber up and just like sort of deal with it as like mob rule? Like I don't understand what you're doing in big theatre.
Yeah,
because there's no kind of, and then it was mad that, and then. But that's fine because you can work with that. It's when it's just like flat.
Yes.
I mean, that's like with any comedy club when it's just a flat time, and you're just like, oh.
Yeah.
So when that's a lot of people, it may just be like a Sunday night. Everyone's knackered.
Yeah.
One of them. I think that's always the bad gigs are never the most dramatic ones because they're the funny ones.
I quite like it. You walk away. Oh, it was good.
Yeah.
What were they shouting at you? What was the domestic?
I don't know what was happening. There was just, the man was, I don't know, they were having an argument. They were really, really drunk. But then other little things were going on at the top. So I was like addressing a couple of different things that were happening. And then, but then I thought, oh, that's dealt with now. And then it was still this couple arguing. And then obviously, because it's a theatre, it's a bit more self-policey than a club. So everyone's going, shh, 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 get them out. And I'm like, oh my God. And I had to just like, I don't know. It was actually quite, to be honest with you, I was in a good mood that day, so I found it quite exhilarating and fun.
Yeah, you get challenged them.
But in a bad mood, I would have just been like, you can just fucking sort it out yourselves.
Yeah, and also because it's not your show, you technically can't go, shut up, you can't.
That's a thing, yeah.
You can't just go hard on them. You kind of go, oh, this is Alan's audience here. I can't go mental.
He's nice, so Alan. Like once this man was like sat arms folded through the whole thing, I could just tell, because you don't want to play that card, but you can just tell. You can just tell when it's a fella who's just like, I fucking hate there's a woman making people laugh. He had it written all over his fucking face. And then I came off stage and I was like, I just wanted to say something. And Alan Carr's quite sweet. He was just like, you should have just said. He didn't mind if it.
Oh, and you're like, can I go back out?
That was Cambridge.
Was it Cambridge as well? Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on there?
Yeah.
Have you gigs in Cambridge before?
No, I've not done many in England. I've done a few in London, Liverpool, Manchester. That's it. Oh, no,
Really?
no. So I've done. No, I tell a lie, Louise. I've done Stockton. In fact, who were you? Were you doing a? I did the Stockton Gong Show. No. I'll tell you what. I did the Stockton Gong Show, and you opened it.
Oh, I remember that gig.
It was December 2019.
I remember that.
Because that was one of my last gigs.
Before COVID.
Yeah. That's when I first saw you. It was that night.
Yeah.
So I did that one. I've done a few of other Hilarity Bites.
Yeah.
I've done his. Oh my God, I did a nice one, which was Bishop Auckland Town Hall. Mm-hmm. Bishop Auckland, really nice town hall, like a really cool venue. Then I did Hartlepool on a Wednesday night, in a cocktail bar. It was rough as hell.
Yeah,
everyone was coked up.
On a Wednesday night.
on a Wednesday night. It was a proper
The
like.
Northeast.
It was like a glam. I don't know what how everyone was just like tattoos and glam and like proper like they looked like they were going out on like a Saturday night and it was like a Wednesday night or
Yeah,
something.
that's a very northeastern trait though, isn't it?
But it was in the marina of Hartlepool. So I was kind of walking around like this marina and I was like,
Oh, it sounds horrible.
and I was like, look at this. Look at you, Ralphie boy. You've made it. You're giggling in a marina.
Yeah.
And then I didn't look into the venue at all. And it was called like Out Cocktail Bar.
Yeah.
And it was awful.
Just a big bag of trash.
Well, do you know what the thing is? The room was quite big. It was a kind of square bit, like kind of that bit. But then the room went back into this bit where there were people who couldn't see the stage. But they were being told to sit and watch the comedy. And they couldn't.
I've done them before. Do you know what? I've done them before and I've just thought, fuck this. Like, and just like cut it short because I did one where people were literally sat in booths.
Yeah.
And I was like, they'd have to like sort of stand on the back of the booth like a toddler in Frankie and Benny's, like looking over to the other booth to be able to see what's happening.
Yeah.
People just think this is the thing. Like people just think comedy's like just like
Chuck
an
it anywhere.
acoustic set. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but-
it's really like people need like to give you your undivided attention, or it just doesn't fucking work.
People were like literally behind this like almost like mesh, like garden, like vines and everything like that. So they couldn't even see the stage.
Yeah.
And I had driven like what, like
Oh, so I keep kicking this. Sorry.
Sorry. I'd driven like 3-4 hours on like a Wednesday night or something for about 50 quid. This is it. Yeah. This is it. So can you get, so this is it. So this was,
You gotta think it's-
these were all further down. So the stage is well back here. And so there was, this bit was the busiest bit of the bit because everyone was just sitting here watching it.
Yeah. And then was it just at the,
Oh, look
the
at that
back
horrible-
of the room? This place looks like the worst spot to do a gig.
Well, weirdly, the guy who runs it at the end of the night was like, I'm never doing it here. It is where you come in and then just behind.
Why does it just look like it would attract the worst cunts on planet fucking Earth, doesn't it?
This place
It just looks like the inside of an idiot's head.
Yeah, it's absolute trash. So on the
Yeah.
other side of this pink grand piano
Of course.
is this bit here. So then they're behind this bit here. So this bit. So these people couldn't see the gig. Could
Don't
not see
worry,
it.
Brie happy.
Yeah, and
Sorry, yes, go on.
Lee Kyle was on that one, and we all just went up, and it was grim. It was fucking grim. So there's the grand piano there, and everyone was like sitting around the piano. It was awful, and there was one guy, the most steaming guy in the room,
Yeah.
falling about, like stumbling about over here,
Hartlepool though, isn't it? It's going to be a bit like that.
and he came up to me and he went, "I'm Scottish as well," and I went, "Of course you are.
Yeah,
Of
yeah.
course you are Scottish in Hartlepool." The most mad guy in the room.
That's just like one of those like very working class towns where it's still the mentality like even on a Wednesday night you go out and it's glad rags on, get
yeah.
trashed.
Is that what? Is Hartlepool not nice then?
I don't think it's. I think it's a little rough around the edges.
Right,
I always get confused with Darlington, but I think Darlington's a bit posher because whenever I do, people from Darlington go, "We're not Hartlepool." So I think Hartlepool, but it's like I'm not like being down on it. It's the same as like a lot of places in the northeast. Really, like
Yeah.
it's just rough.
Yeah, that's it. I think you gig most places in Scotland. You know,
Yeah,
it's gonna be, and they're normally, if everyone could have seen the stage and everyone, it could have been an alright gig.
yeah.
Because people are
It's
normally
not
up
the
for it.
people's fault. It's
Yeah.
just how it's set up, isn't it? That's the problem.
I
Yeah,
think the worst one. I drove a car of us up to Thurso, which is a 6.5 hour drive. It's like almost like the northern point of Scotland. It is, and it was rough.
Was it?
Yeah, it was just
Yeah.
like the people there. There's 2 pubs in the town because it's a small town, and like because the comedy had blocked off one of the pubs, they were all desperate to get in. So it was like The Walking Dead up against the window, waiting for the comedy to finish.
Jesus
and as soon as
Christ.
they came in, they were just like abusing us.
Yeah.
They were just like, right, let's get out here.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's probably the farthest I've gone, but never go with us. So
Would they not like you because you're from the city as well? a little
yeah,
bit?
proper that. And the headliner. Have you ever gigged Gus Limburn?
I think I'm not sure.
You maybe have, but he kind of gets. He doesn't have this. He kind of gets away with it because he's not like city boy. So he's kind of got the
Yeah.
kind of country. Like he kind of gets away with it.
Yeah.
So they loved him.
Yeah.
He went on, did 20 minutes. They will love him so much. He was loving it so much. He went, "How about we just have a break and I'll come on. I'll do like another half hour." And they went, "Fucking yes." Meanwhile, the other 3 of us had died on our asses.
Yeah.
But I think it was probably one of the first times I'd done 15. Ate shit for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And I just drove 6 hours for the pleasure of it.
It's the drive back as well. When I first started, I got like, I think I got to like the final of some new comedian thing in London, and every heat I was doing, I was like smashing it. Like I was like the best in every heat, and I thought I'm gonna win this. I think I'm gonna win this. So for the final, I get the mega bus from Newcastle to London. It's like 8.5 hours, something stupid. Get myself into London. I told my friends that I used to work with, you got to come and see us at this final. It's going to be amazing. Because I went to uni in London, old uni friends. I had about 10 people in there, and like, and I went up there and fucking died and didn't get through. And I remember just going like, couldn't believe it, and then went home on the megabus back to Newcastle. It was the midnight megabus from London Victoria, and just looking out the megabus window, pulling out of Victoria, just crying. And then some man kept falling asleep on my shoulder, and I kept going, please stop falling asleep.
I've had a bad night.
And I just thought, fucking hell, this is grim. That was like, yeah, those are the memories that stick out.
Yeah. Oh, that is.
I remember it now. It's like, oh.
All your friends are like, you did well.
Yeah,
you
they're
did
like,
okay.
yeah.
They'll never.
I've seen you do better.
no, that's the line. Yeah. It's not your best. It's not your best.
Wasn't your best.
I mean, you've got your debut Fringe coming up.
Yeah. Debut hour.
I'm
gonna call it feral.
Yeah. Oh, I love the word feral.
Everyone does.
I
so
love
that's why
it.
I thought I'd call it.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna do that. So that's gonna be. Should I plug? Do you plug things?
Yeah.
Already, it's in the Pleasance, but I'm not sure what room. I think.
I mean, it'll be on sale soon then, surely.
It's gonna be just as they always are, autobiographical. Probably revealing too much vulnerability than what is safe, really, psychologically, and. Yeah.
That'll be fun.
At the Pleasance Bunker 1 or 2. Haven't checked my phone.
It might be one of them.
Come to one.
Yeah, bound to be there.
Yeah. And that's it really. And then obviously please listen to me podcast.
Make Me Better.
Make Me Better pod with Harriet Dyer. And every week we'll try and review something that makes me feel better and less insane.
Love
but
it.
mostly just take the piss.
Yeah, I mean that's it. That's the best part of it. Right, the last thing.
Yeah.
So what I do is I ask guests, put them on the spot.
Oh no.
No, it's nothing bad. So you get to pick someone I need to try and get on the podcast. It can be anyone. It can be, so we've had like famous people, not so famous people. So you basically get to chuck a name out there, and then I've got to try and get them on the podcast.
Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day.
Whoa!
That was the fastest answer.
That has been the fastest
That's
answer. You're a big Green Day fan.
Huge Green Day fan.
Well, there we go. I will
So-
drop
Billy Joe.
Billy
He's off
Joe.
Instagram at the minute though.
I'll find him.
Having to get Reddit updates when he gets back on this.
Really?
Yeah.
I've honestly, we've tracked him down. Me and Colin, we've found people online and like phoned them.
Oh, wonderful.
Phoned like
It hasn't worked yet. For
It
that.
hasn't
Oh,
worked.
okay, I
We
got so
phoned-
excited there.
We phoned like record companies. We
Yeah.
phoned everything. Like
They did do. Have you really?
yeah. We phoned Stormzy's record company, and I was like, "Hello, can I speak to Stormzy?" And they're
Yeah.
like, "No."
Yeah. God loves a trier. But Green Day did do last year in the summer in Bellahouston Park.
Yes.
They did play there, so they do come to Scotland.
Even if I get that's thing, if I can get them on Zoom, I'll do them on Zoom.
Yeah. Do them on Zoom.
I'll bloody do them on Zoom. I'll do Billy Joe. Cool. I'll try and get him on the pod. Good choice. Good
Thank
choice.
you.
That feels like someone he might do it. Thanks very much for coming in, Louise.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you very
Anytime.
much. Just for coming on. It's been
Thanks
a
for
laugh.
having us.
Cheers. Bye, everyone. Goodbye.
Goodbye.